Hi guys, welcome to the session. I hope you are able to see me and hear me. I just want to check on YouTube whether I'm live or not. So we are discussing the CAT syllabus, etc. So we're trying to see in today's session, I will be focusing on telling you what you need to do for the CAT syllabus and how you need to plan your preparation. Yeah, I think I can see myself here, and if you have any questions in between, you're free to ask me. And right, so without any further ado, let's start moving into what we need to discuss today. So as you know, the CAT is basically consists of three sections, and uh, three sections: quantitative aptitude, data interpretation, and logical reasoning, and verbal ability, reading comprehension. And typically, each of the three sections is equally divided. So you have more or less a little bit less number of questions in DILR than QA and VRC. So, but before I go there, I just wanted to inform you about the upcoming batches on Unacademy Plus. This batch on 1st May, which is the Legion batch for CAT 3.0. This is for CAT, Legion batch 3.0 for CAT 2021. This is a batch which I'm doing along with Lokesh Agarwal and Abhilasha Swaroop. So three of us are doing this batch, and we will be. I'll be doing the DI part. I'm my course on complete DI for CAT 21 will be starting around second week of May. It's a weekend batch, Saturday Sunday. So my timings will be 1:30 to 3:30. You are with me, Arun Sharma, of course. And then there's a other batch, 28th April, round the clock batch 2 for CAT 21 has just started. Deepika Avasthi, Suneet Khambert, and Ravi Kumar are the main teachers there. And 24th April, you have got the score booster batch 3.0 advanced level for CAT 2021. This is again Deepika Avasthi, Udit Saini, Ajinkya Chopre, and Dr. Kiran Degle. These are the four main teachers in this. So before I go ahead with the portion, of course, so that's what I wanted to talk to you at the start. And if you want to join Unacademy Plus or you want to join Unacademy Iconic, you can use this promo code. The promo code is Sharma Cat Live, SHARMACATLIVE. So you can use this promo code to get a 10% discount on the existing fees, which you'll be able to get on the portal, on the Unacademy portal, right? So before I move on into these things, we know the structure of the CAT, right? The structure of the CAT is basically three sections, and typically across these three sections, DILR, quantitative aptitude, and verbal ability and reading comprehension, right? And so in VARC, the syllabus basically, first of all, there's a difference between the 3-hour exam, where they give you 1 hour per section, and the 2-hour exam, where they give you 40 minutes per section in terms of the number of questions. So VRC में 34 questions आते हैं 1 hour exam में, typically, out of which RC is 24%. This is the major part. RC is 24% of it, and verbal ability is 24 questions. Sorry, not 24%. RC is 24 questions, and verbal ability is 10 questions. And we'll come to the question types in verbal ability. Hi Kanishk. We'll come to the question types in verbal ability as we move on. Hi Kanishk, welcome to the session. And just give me a second. Right. So verbal ability, there are three question types, and Basically, the three question types in verbal ability include my video is lagging here, so I hope you are able to see me properly. Hi Chandan, welcome to the session. Yeah, I hope I am audible and visible. Good afternoon Aditya, welcome to the session. So 10 questions of verbal ability. Typically, in the last 3 years, they have stabilized this into three kinds of questions. Three very clear questions. These three question types are one, parajumbles, two, odd man out, and three, summaries. So parajumble में what happens is basically uh, you've got four sentences or sometimes five sentences which are jumbled together, and they form a proper paragraph, and you're supposed to create the correct order of the paragraph. Now parajumbles in a form where there were no options. When there were options, it was very easy to do those with 100% accuracy, but the difficulty level has gone up drastically now that there are no options in parajumbles, and so also in odd man out. There are five sentences in the odd man out question type, and out of the five sentences, four sentences make a paragraph, and the fifth one does not belong to that paragraph. So four sentences will fit together into one paragraph, and the fifth will not. So you have to identify which is the odd sentence out of the five. And the summary question type, you got a passage maybe around 50, 100, 120 words, paragraph, and uh, that paragraph then has four alternate summaries given. So you have to basically identify the main idea of the paragraph and then identify the correct summary into that. This is what the 3-hour exam structure was. And in the 2-hour exam, there are 26 questions in verbal ability, reading comprehension, and out of this, the breakup for RC was 18. And for these three questions, the question types remain same exactly. For these three questions, there was 8 questions. Apart from these three question types, verbal ability also has a few more question types. So we'll come to DILR and QA a little bit later. तो पहले verbal ability को देख लेते हैं अच्छे से. So verbal ability also has three more question types, a few more question types. Some of these includes fill in the blanks. Sometimes it is also called as sentence completion. One, right? And second, you also had other question types like grammar, identify the correct sentence, identify the error in the sentence. So grammar based questions. Two, the third question type apart from these three. So these are the chapters in English, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So CAT में these extra chapters, the other chapters of verbal, they have been there in the past, but they are not coming these last 4-5 years. But you should still cover your bases by doing all this because of the fact of two reasons. One is CAT में there are always surprises. You sometimes you can never be too sure about the CAT not surprising you by giving you something which you had not thought might happen. That's one. And the second reason why you should continue with the second reason why you should uh, do these extra question types is because you're also preparing for other non-CAT exams like IFT and SNAP and CMAT. So for all those exams, CET Maharashtra, for all those exams, you have these other question types, which will become important and which matter a lot, है ना? So apart from grammar based questions, then there's also something called critical reasoning questions. So critical reasoning questions are questions which are asked in paragraph form, and then you are supposed to have analyze the paragraph and then reason out inside. So which of the following questions, which there'll be a small caselet described or a small situation described, and then you ask to decide which based on the question asked, you to decide the best answer to that. So question might ask you what is which of the following is an assumption in the passage, which of the following is a conclusion that follows from the passage, right? Which of the following, if true, would go against the argument of the passage? Which of the following would support the argument of the passage? What information will support the this thing of the passage? All these things come under the critical reasoning part. So there's around 7-8 question types in critical reasoning. Let's put that down. Let me open a fresh slide here. So critical reasoning question types. There are around 7-8. One is supporting evidence. The evidence supporting the argument. The second is opposing evidence. Right? Then you might have supporting argument. And opposing argument. You might have supporting argument and opposing argument. And also then assumption in the passage. Assumption in the passage and conclusions that follow from the passage. So these 6-7 question types, this thing, or then there are a couple of more. Hi Udit, welcome to session. Couple of more question types that might be there, like which of the following would the author agree with? These are the question types in critical reasoning: author agreement and author disagreement. Which of the following with the author disagree with? So these are all things that come under critical reasoning. So it's a little bit different from comprehension. I mean, of course, comprehension is a part of critical reasoning, but it is not just comprehension. It has got some element of argument analysis. So typical comprehension से different हो जाता है argument analysis, है ना? So that's something that you will need to do. So these are the typical 8 question types in critical reasoning. So while critical reasoning has been part of other MBA exams all through, and it has also been part of the CAT in earlier years, तो आजकल इसका ये नहीं आ रहा है. The critical reasoning last almost 8 to 10 years. CAT has not been giving you critical reasoning. So this is the next question type that you prepare for. So CR हो गया. Then the fourth question type in the verbal question types would be something called fact inference judgment, FIJs, and of course RCs themselves have their own question types, right? RC में you get detail based questions, you get analysis based questions, you get inference based questions, etc. Inferential questions. There are 4-5 types of questions: fact and detail based questions, etc. So you have to, as you practice your comprehension, you have to basically do this. So when you are preparing for CAT, you basically focus on these 3, but you do this as a backup, as I said, for 2 reasons why you need this backup. One reason for the backup is that in CAT you can always have a re-entry of these question types, and the second reason of the backup is that you also want to give the non-CAT exams. And then there are also some word level questions. So if you look at this, fill in the blanks. The 1 and 2 are sentence level questions, while 3 being critical reasoning is a paragraph level question. And then you can also have word level questions. You can also have word level questions. You also prepare for word level questions, where you talk about analogies, antonyms, synonyms. Again, odd man out. This is a different kind of odd man out. This is vocabulary based odd man out. So let's say I tell you Maharashtra, Punjab, Orissa, and Ireland, and I say which is the odd man out. So this is I mean this of course was a GK based odd man out, but you can have suppose I say run, sprint, right, and then I say one more. Let's say and I say run, sprint, and crawl. So in these 3 words, run and sprint are about running, while crawl is not a running activity, right? Or if I say run, sprint, crawl, and spoon, in this case, spoon becomes the odd man out because these are three ways in which people move, right? I'm good, Tushar. How are you? Welcome to the session. So this is this is comprehensive syllabus. But when you focus on CAT, your first focus has to be on reading comprehension. Because if you can sort out the reading comprehension, देखो basically क्या है कि if you are targeting 99 percentile in verbal में अगर 99 percentile लाना चाहते हो तो in the 34 question exam you need to score 102 marks exam. You need to score around 60-65. Right? You need to score around 60-65 to get there. And you have 72 marks in RC only. So if you can do a majority of work in your RC, so tomorrow verbal, if you can actually score 20 correct questions in RC out of 24, and you get your 99 percentile only on the basis of RC. So getting your RC strong is the number one priority. And the other factor is RC skills being strong are important, not just for scoring in RC, but each of the odd man out, para jumbles, or summary question. Unless your comprehension is good, RC becomes good only after your comprehension is good. Comprehension of the questions, comprehension of the paragraph, passage, and then comprehension of the questions. Comprehension of passage plus comprehension of questions. So in your flowchart, you have to your first focus has to be to develop this part in your preparation flowchart. Ability to understand the passage becomes your first priority while this thing. So Chandan says, yeah, I'm giving quiz, DPP, combat, and sectional test. That's okay. That's good. It's good, but also try to make sure that you do some work around your question types. Right. So what you should do is to start off your preparation in RC. You should start off your preparation with an audit. In reading comprehension, you should start your preparation with an audit. And that audit for RC, I'm coming to DILR, Chandan, don't worry. I'm coming to DILR just in a second. Just give me a second. So when you do your RC audits, your first focus, just give me a second. Hello? Hello? Yeah. I'll call you back. So there's somebody in a hospital so I have to take the calls in case there's an emergency. Yeah. So coming back, in RC you have to have an audit first. what is the starting skill level before you start defining how do you study and what portion you need to do. So you need, I mean, you need to understand that when you do an audit, what you should do is you should pick up maybe 3 to 5 passages. Pick these up from old CAT papers. Pick this up from old CAT papers. Pick this up from your old CAT papers. And what you do is you first normally in the CAT, let's say you are targeting doing an RC in around 8 to 9 minutes. One comprehension passage of around 4 to 5 questions in 8 to 9 minutes. So what you should do is if you pick up 5 passages, 3 passages le lo, 12 to 15 questions, and give yourself 25 minutes. ठीक है? That's completely up to you. Unacademy, I'm starting a batch on complete DI, Yashwant. So that's completely up to you. You decide. So coming back to this, one of my new batches is starting on Unacademy Plus, which is the Legion batch. So I'm doing the complete DI on 1st May. So coming back, 12 to 15 minutes, 12 to 15 questions ले लो, उठा लो, 25 minutes ले लो, ठीक है? And try to see what your corrects are. How many corrects do you get? How many wrongs do you get? What is the percentage of scoring percentage, right? So if you have a 15 question test, it's a test out of 45 marks, right? So how much do you score out of 45 marks? This is something you have to know, because when you are talking about syllabus discussion for CAT, when you're talking about syllabus discussion for working on for the CAT, the first thing about what you need to do with syllabus, with even in maths, when you come to syllabus, your first thing has to be audit. What is your basic skill level, starting skill level in that? So how much do you score in 45 minutes under a time pressure situation? Out of 45 marks in a time pressure situation, and you're giving yourself approximately 25 minutes for this. Okay, I'm coming to the quants part, Pranjal. That's the next thing. So you might score whatever your score is. Let's say you're scoring 20-22, and you then repeat the test. Three passages, 12 to 15 questions, and you again score 20-22, 3 marks per question. You score 20-22. Then what you can define one thing. Okay. My batch is my DI batch, complete DI is coming in this thing, and my complete DI course on Unacademy Plus is coming on I think 8th May, 8th or 9th May. It's start. It's a weekend batch. It's a weekend batch, and it's a weekend batch where my timing is 1:30 to 3:30. 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. That's the time, Chandan. Saturday, Sundays. So, if coming back to the point I was making, if you're able to score 20-22 right from the start out of 45, 20-22 out of 45, and how much you score will also depend on how much you're able to attempt. In 25 minutes, you'll not be able to attempt all the questions to start with. Let's say you attempted worth 30 marks and you scored 22 marks or 22 marks out of 45. It means you are attempting around 2/3 of the questions and you're scoring around half. Which means that in the CAT, if you go for a 3-hour exam structure, in the CAT 24 questions, 72 marks, you'll score around 32 to 36. And you will score, if the passage quality was good, you'll score around 32 to 36, and you'll be attempting around 45 marks. This is your current capability, right? Now one thing we need to make sure, so what is happening here is that your accuracy percent is around 75%. You're attempting 45 marks and you're only scoring 75% of the marks that you attempt. Right? So even if you get to a point where you can attempt 70 marks, you'll be scoring only 75% of those marks, which means you'll be scoring 60 marks in RC then. Right? Of course, to get to 70 marks, you'll also have to increase your speed. And when you increase speed, if this is your percentage accuracy at that speed, we're attempting 10 questions out of 15. So if your accuracy is around 75%, you're getting 7, 8 right. So then if you try to attempt 15 out of 15 in 25 minutes, obviously your accuracy will go down. It will go down to something like 55-60%. Right? But one more thing, when you audit something, किसी भी, and this audit is important for all the areas. So that's how a student who started preparing and knows how to prepare, or has evolved in his preparation cycle, will talk differently from a student who's just starting off his preparation. So one more thing you should do is you should also take this test, the same test. 3 passages, 15 questions, the same test. You should also take it at unlimited time. That means you remove the time constraint. And in unlimited time, you force yourself to answer every question. Attempt 15 out of 15. Attempt all 45 marks. And then see how much you score and what is your accuracy percentage. How much do you get correct if you attempt all 15? So what you need to understand is inside the CAT, suppose you have a target, final target, ki out of 24 questions I'll attempt 20 and get 18 right. For this to happen inside of 1 hour framework in RC in the CAT, this first has to happen in unlimited time. So if you want this outcome in the exam, then you have to be able to, in unlimited time, you first have to be able to do 15 out of 15, and then you have to be able to get 13 correct minimum. Right? And if in case you find that in this audit, इस audit के time में अगर तुमको ये लगता है, if you find or if you discover, not लगता है, you discover, this is not about क्या लगता है. So during this audit, if you discover that when I attempt all 15 questions in RC in unlimited time, that means the time pressure is not there, I get only 10 correct. So if my unlimited time accuracy is 66%, my time pressure accuracy will also be, this is unlimited time accuracy. So my time pressure accuracy will be below that. It will be down to maybe 40-50%. Now what a lot of people do in their preparation, I'll just come to your question, Aman. What a lot of people do in their preparation is that they just take this symptom. Right? Now this is what you are scoring in your mock test or in your test is basically not the disease. It's the symptom of the disease. The disease is here. And unless you treat the disease, you cannot, your symptoms will not go. So till this is stuck. अगर कोई स्टूडेंट है जो अनलिमिटेड टाइम में 66% ही एक्यूरेसी ला पाता है, तो वो लिमिटेड टाइम में टाइम प्रेशर के अंदर 80% एक्यूरेसी कैसे ला सकता है? इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. So you have to know this, because this is what will diagnose you. Right? This is what will diagnose your problems inside your body. Just like in coronavirus, you now need a lot of investigations to decide what's happening inside your body. So this is what will give you the investigation. So you have to spend that time to understand that before you start sorting it out. Otherwise, what happens for most people is that I see, for most people that I see, उनका जो प्रेप प्रोसेस होता है, उसमें वो सिर्फ इसी चीज़ को टारगेट करते हैं. They are trying to target only this thing, which the one below. They're just trying to target this one. Right? The symptoms को treat करके disease थोड़ी हटेगा. So you will have to work on getting, if you want an 80% accuracy here, when you do RC you got 80% accuracy भी तो काम नहीं कर सकते हो तुम. तुमको 90% प्लस accuracy चाहिए अगर तुम 99% टाइलर से compete करना चाहते हो. मतलब 10 क्वेश्चन किए तो 9 का नॉर्मल एक्सपेक्टेशन होना चाहिए कि 9 प्लस राइट होंगे मेरे एवरेज. तब जाके एग्जाम में तुम 80% एक्यूरेसी पे काम कर पाओगे. तो यहाँ पे 90% एक्यूरेसी चाहिए तो पहले यहाँ 95% एक्यूरेसी करना पड़ेगा, राइट? तब जाके यहाँ पे 80 to 90% आएगा. So what you have to then do is you have to then learn कि how do you get an RC passage कर, because जब तक तुम्हारा चंदन नहीं, 12th April is good, 12th April को तुम start कर सकते हो. And coming back to the questions, Aman's question, hello sir, my academics are 7.57. Can I be able to convert any of the IIM call? Yes, you can. Academics 7.5 and 7 से 10th and 12th I'm assuming. ग्रेजुएशन कर रहे हो तो ग्रेजुएशन में थोड़ा स्कोर इम्प्रूव कर लेना, ताकि एटलीस्ट एक स्टोरी रहे तुम्हारे पास कि अब मैं सुधर गया हूँ, राइट? बिकॉज इफ यू गो टू द इंटरव्यू बोर्ड एज अ वेरी कैजुअल पर्सन, देन दे आर सपोज टू फाइंड आउट दैट एंड दे आर सपोज टू रिमूव यू फ्रॉम द प्रोसेस, फ्रॉम द सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस. So don't take that lightly. So whatever profile you have, and this is general answer to everybody because a lot of people keep asking me this question. Whatever profile you have, उस profile पे तो ठीक है, तुम अपना you have to deal with it, and you'll have to play with that profile, so you can't do anything much. So it's better not to think too much about it, and put your head down and work for the remaining part of your profile. So your profile is consisted of two parts. One part of your profile is what has already happened, right? One part of it is what has already happened. Other part is what is happening. And the next part is what will happen. The three parts to your profile. One part is what has happened. You can't change it, so you have to deal with it as it is. The second part is what is happening. And the third part is what will happen. So, to an interviewer, the interviewer is not really listening about this because he is not looking at empty claims. So he's not going to get impressed by no matter what you tell him. I'll make the first aeroplane that goes to space or whatever you want to do. Unless you have not done it, he's not looking at this. So the problem with the interview is not just this thing. Just give me a second. I just need to get this call. Hi, class में मिनी से बात कर लीजिएगा. हाँ, हम आपको भेजते हैं फोन. हाँ हाँ, वो नहीं भेजा अभी. नहीं, फ़ोन नंबर आया था सर. हम बोले थे कि हम आएंगे तो करेंगे. बोले ठीक है, हम आधे घंटे में कॉल करते हैं आपको. आधे घंटे में कॉल करते हैं. उससे बात देखते हैं, उससे बात करके डिसाइड करेंगे. उससे बात करके डिसाइड करेंगे एक बार. हम बात करते हैं उससे एक बार. हाँ, sorry for that. As I said, somebody admitted in hospital and I'm the caretaker, so I have to take those calls which come from there. So anyway, so coming back to this thing, I just had to message a number. India is in a crazy state, as you know. So coming back to what I was saying, was the interviewer not really bothered about what you want, what you will do. He's bothered more about what you have done. He's only bothered about that or what is happening in your life. So my advice to anybody who's got a poor structure here, my advice is at least start to improve this part of it. ये red हो गया, चलो जाने दो. You can't do anything about it. Focus on what you can control. You cannot control this. So focus on this part. Focus on what is happening. Focus on what is happening, and focus on improving your profile. So if your graduation is still continuing, but Aman, you say that your graduation is over, so you can't help it. So whatever is there, you deal with it. But you have to actually show something good, right? So I mean, तुम खुद देखो ना. Suppose you are trying to buy a shoe, right? Suppose you are trying to buy a shoe. So if you are trying to buy a shoe and suppose there's one company, you have a shoe for 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees, and that there are two brands. One is the Nike brand, 3,000 rupee, and the other is the XY brand, right? And XYZ brand, which you don't know. So which shoe will you invest in 3,000 rupees in? Both shoe look same, but the Nike brand is coming with that brand, and this shoe, this other shoe that is coming is has not got any brand, but on top of the box of the brand it is written we are going to be the greatest shoe company in the world. So will you take the risk? Will you take the risk with that shoe? The answer is no. So that is why you have to at least control what is happening. And given the fact that suppose you are going for CAT-21, that means you are going to 22 interviews. So 22 interviews are going to happen March, April next year. So you have 12 months, which is significant time to change who you are. Right? An academics of 7, 5 and 7, as Aman is saying, this academic is not going to impress me as an interviewer. Why will I take the risk? Right? Maybe what this shoe company is telling me, he will be the greatest shoe company in the world in the future. हो सकता है right हो. But I will not believe in them today. I will believe them only after they have put in the work in the past. Right? So this is something you have to understand. So and in case, and when you prepare for CAT, you also make a 2-year plan, 3-year plan that okay, I'll keep giving this exam and I'll get to the best possible B school I can. So let's say it goes ahead by a year for you, and you end up also giving 2023 interviews, and during this time you're improving your profile. So automatically if you do that, if you do this, so 2-year ka profile is much more important. The more the past has gone back in your life, the less seriously it is taken. Nobody's going to hold things against you apart from the weightages. Nobody's going to hold things against you for something you did 5 years ago. 5 साल पहले मैं बहुत कैजुअल था लेकिन अब मैं बहुत अच्छा हो गया. If that is the premise, it's fine. So and since you have only one life, you have to invest in that life. Hi Sahil, welcome. So you have to invest in getting better at it yourself. Right? So coming back to what coming back to what we are talking about. तो as I said, अगर तुम्हारा दिक्कत आरसी में है कि तुम आरसी में एक्यूरेसी नहीं ला पा रहे हो, तो तुम पहले टेस्ट ये करो कि तुम्हारा अनलिमिटेड टाइम में एक्यूरेसी परसेंटेज क्या है. फोकस ऑन दैट, और पहले इस चीज़ को रिपेयर किया जाता है. अनलिमिटेड टाइम एक्यूरेसी इज व्हाट यू रिपेयर. टाइम प्रेशर एक्यूरेसी will get repaired only after this is working. Right? So this is what you focus on. So coming to Swati's question, which is a natural follow-up question to what I was talking about. What are the ways to improve profile after graduation? Good question, Swati, and very natural format, this thing. So typically, including graduation, there are 3 or 4 methods to improve profile. Just remember this. And this is all you need to think about your profile development. The first method, of course, safest, is to increase your graduation scores, your academic scores. This is the first method. Improve your graduation result. But that is of course if you are in graduation. If you are in third semester, fourth semester or fifth semester and you got 2 semesters to go or 3 semesters to go, your first focus should be to jump up, make your graduation score jump up. This is the first way. And that gives credible evidence. And a lot of people ask me this question, why do they judge us on academics? Well, you are applying to an academic course. Their objective is to teach you and make you do well in the course. They believe that your course, you're doing well in the course has a correlation to you are doing well in life. Right? So they have all the rights to do that. Right? Second objective, second process, the second and third processes are actually merged together. The fourth process actually is WorkX. Right, and this is safe. This is one of the safest ways to do it. If you've got high quality work experience, then it'll be good. Okay? Just coming to Amrit's question, the second and third are where you actually have certain scope, because this you either have or you don't have in your hands, and this is also something which you have or you don't have in your hands. Okay? So the second and third, this is, I'm of course talking only about profile development here, right now. Sahil is asking me profile improvement, and I'm answering Swati's question also here when she's talking to me about profile improvement. So coming to what I was saying, your second and third is actually courses and reading. These are two options. Either you add, and ideally, both these options should merge together to have a strong flowchart in terms of what subjects, some subjects about which you are passionate, some research subjects, some topics, some issues in the world about which you are very passionate. It has to be subjects. Right? And the reason I talk about this, just give me a second, I'll have to take this call. Hello, huh? Hello, huh? Hello. Acha. Hello, acha. Hello. ठीक हम ले आएंगे. हाँ, चिंता मत कर, पेमेंट की चिंता मत करें. हाँ, चिंता मत करिए, पेमेंट हम पे कर देंगे. ठीक. हाँ, ठीक. हम कॉल कर रहे हैं, हम क्लास में भी कॉल करते हैं. Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, so as I was saying, so I always tell people this thing that when I was in college, in my engineering college, I was doing 5 subjects a year, every 6 months. So my 4 years of engineering college was 5 subjects, every 6 months. This was my format of what I was studying. Right? Now when I went to IIM, if this is a 4-year perspective, so my IIM was only till not even 2 years. It ended here. It ended around 20 months. And in IIM, the same Arun Sharma, just 1 month later, when after this finished, 1 month later I was in IIM, and the same Arun Sharma was doing 8 subjects plus 8 subjects every 3 months. So in 1 year, I was studying 24 subjects, where I was struggling to do 10 subjects a year when I was in engineering. Right, so my course ended up with around 40-45 subjects in 2 years. Right, and not also not 2 years. It ended at 20 months. It ended at 20 months, right? So this is how you could see my what I tell people is that the Arun Sharma was doing engineering and the Arun Sharma was doing management. During his engineering, he was, I mean, what I was doing in 6 months after engineering was around 15 subjects, where I was doing only 5. So I had the capacity to do at least, if not 10 more. चलो मैं खुद से 10 more नहीं करता, 3 subject तो add कर सकता हूँ ना every 3 months, every 6 months. So you define a set of subjects for which you're passionate. You're not studying it for the sake of your profile. कि मेरे को profile improve करना है इसलिए मैं इसको पढ़ रहा हूँ. Don't do that. है ना? Don't do that. I want to improve my profile. That is why I'm reading this or I'm studying this. Don't do that. Avoid doing that. And what your focus should be to say कि okay, what are the things for the change? What are the things I'm interested in doing? Right? So Chandan, you are not confident of getting into an IIM because you have not done. If you look at yourself in the mirror, you have not done anything significant in your life. You have, for a change, you have to start making these small wins for yourself. That you pick up a challenging subject, you pick up, I mean, these subjects could be anything. You might want to build up a portfolio of subjects which might include economics, philosophy. I'm not guiding anything. You can decide. You want to study astrology or astronomy, sorry. You want to study astronomy, whatever. Build a few passions. I even had a student who built a passion about the Second World War and the flying machines that are used in the Second World War. So I told him the only thing I added to him was कि ठीक है, if you are researching the Second World War and you're fascinated by it, because the Second World War was had so much impact in the world in terms of its destructive power and the planes, etc. First war fought in the air. So then don't just focus on that part. Also focus on the economics and the society of all the countries coming into the war. So you want to study the war, study the German economy and the German society for 10 years before the war. Study it from 1930 and go back to 15 years after the war. So study it till 1960. So 1938 to 1944 was the war. So 1930 to 38, study what is happening in German society, study what is happening in German economics, study what is happening in German politics, and look at what happened after the war to Germany and how did society change, how did economics change, etc. So give it that, and then you study the top 5-7 countries and also the top 15-20 leaders and great generals and politicians of that time, including Hitler, and you do a character research of all that. That is perfectly okay. It's not necessary that you study economics and marketing and finance in this, right? But as I said, economics, marketing, finance can also be. You can do digital marketing, you can do finance, and but for each of these courses or each of these subjects that you do, it has to be a mix of courses plus reading. Right? So I've been at IIM interviews as an interviewer in the past, and I have selected people with 776 kind of profiles, but they have to show me this, and I will be gladly ready to take them. And they have to show me this for at least not कि 15 दिन से मैं कर रहा हूँ, at least for a few months, or if ideally for at least 6 to 12 months, if not more. Right? So, what was your question, Amrit? I think I missed it here. So you started my prep with my academic with final year. Right? Should I prepare or also give mock? I think you should prepare first and start. I mean, you can. I mean, there are two ways in which you can prepare actually. You can also do quants. When you talk about quants, the syllabus is quite clear. Quant syllabus should be clear to you. It's very clearly given in my books. The quants syllabus. The quant syllabus is the first part of it is two blocks, blocks 1, 2, 3, Block 2, 3 is arithmetic, and block 1 is number systems and progressions. That's what the initial blocks are, right? And then block 4, I'll also come to these promotions. Block 4 is geometry mensuration, that's the syllabus. And then block 5 is algebra. Algebra has 4 chapters: permutation, combination, probability. Algebra has 4 chapters: functions, inequalities, logs, and quadratic equations. These 4 chapters in algebra, and then permutation, combination, probability, and set theory. This is block 6. So this is a portion for quants. But before I go ahead, I have to get through these promotions. So I'm just coming to your questions, Chandan and Arijit. So Iconic CAT-21 is has got launched. So in Iconic you get all the benefits of Plus along with a personal mentor and test analysis and reports. And Unacademy learners have cracked CAT with flying colors in CAT 2020. So you could be next there. And then there's a weekly scholarship test called the Unacademy Combat that happens every week. Happens at Sunday at 12 p.m. and you can win scholarships up to 55 lakhs. And you can use unlock code for it. The unlock code for it is the same one, Sharma Cat Life, through which you can also register for Unacademy Plus. And as I mentioned, मेरा बैच भी complete DI का बैच स्टार्ट हो रहा है, वो May 8th 9th को हो रहा है. And I take DILR at Unacademy Plus. है ना, my courses on DILR can run concurrently and for at times they run one after the other. So I'm just completing a complete LR course, and I'm coming into a complete DI course, and then I'll rerun the complete LR course going forward into June, July. And then this is the Ask It Out feature on Unacademy. For those of you who need assisted problem solving, this is a good way to get it. इसमें you have to go to the app and you have to click Ask It Out on the screen, and once you click on Ask It Out on the screen, you take a picture or choose from the gallery on the screen, and then crop the image to highlight a specific question. 4 steps hai, and 4th step is then you select the subject to which the question belongs and put the doubt in. You'll get a solution from there. So okay, now DILR को कैसे प्रिपेयर करना चाहिए उसके बारे में बात करता हूँ थोड़ा सा, और क्वांट्स का भी. But let me take the questions before that. Arijit, I am a 777, but I have a startup, and my sister runs an NGO where I am also part. What else should I do for profile? I think you should add. I mean, in general, if you're out of graduation, finished your academics, you should minimum add one subject every 2 months, one passion subject every 2 months. So what you should do? How do you select subjects? This is another question that comes very often to me. You say that you should do subjects. So how do you select subjects? So उसके लिए what you can do is just like in an MBA you select a major and a minor. What you should do is you should define for your passion subjects, you define one major and one minor, or you define two majors, one major and two minors. And in the one major, one minor structure, your major should consist of at least 6+ courses over a year. And these courses can be month-long courses. It's not necessary that you pick up 1-year courses. Right? 6+ 1 month, 1.5 month courses, 6-week courses. बहुत सारे मिल जाते हैं. You can go to websites like edX, Coursera, Udemy, and find courses which will teach you things. Right? And apart from the courses, there has to be a reading element also in it. So you pick up books, study material, you pick up theoretical books, you pick up reading books, non-fiction books around that subject, and read them up, right? That shows that you have a research tendency, a tendency to actually get into a topic, right? And one minor subject, any minor subject is defined by any subject in which any area in which you did 2+ subjects. So for example, if I want to do a major, let's say I decide that I want to build my career in marketing. So I want to do a major in marketing and a minor in finance. Let's say that is my role or my objective. Or I define my major as marketing and my minor is let's say finance, and football. It could be that. It could be a game, right? Let's say my minor is finance and football, right? My major is marketing and my minor is finance and football. So I have to plan to do six different subjects of marketing and two different subjects, two different courses on finance and football, right? Two plus is a minor, six plus is a major. So then in major you choose. I mean, if you go to a Udemy and or Coursera or a Stanford.edu, you just do a search of what courses they're offering. You will get the whole list. So just whatever, just take a dive into the course. See, Ismail, I don't recommend which course you should do and not do, because there are hundreds of ways of getting this right. Okay. It is not like कि 2 + 2 4 होगा तो ये वाला 2 और ये वाला 2 लेना है. You don't work it that way, right? You have to work it in this way, that you have to work it in this way, that you got these six subjects that you are interested in. Are these six subjects okay? I mean, you do a deep dive into those subjects. You shortlist maybe 10 subjects and do a deep dive. Which one should you do you want to study? So in today's world, digital marketing should definitely be part of it. You might want to do something on marketing research, right? You might want to do marketing research. You might want to do strategic marketing. You might want to do B2B marketing. You'll get you do a little bit of search, and you'll find hundreds of courses. You might find some very useful, very different kind of courses also. You might find a course on econometrics for marketing, measuring data measurement for marketing situations. So there's so many things that can happen, right? So this is what your focus should be to actually. So what you do is you select what makes you. You select what makes you happy or what makes you interested, and you start studying it, and then you start studying some books around it. Maybe you can just pick up Philip Kotler, which you're anyway going to study during your MBA, and you can read Kotler. It's a very interesting book to read. So do that. So if I get somebody, sir, 777, but I've got a deep interest in marketing, I'll start asking you about your marketing interests, and then in 15 minutes in my interview room, if you can show me in the next 15 minutes that you are as good as my first year student, राइट सपोज तुम मेरे जगह बैठ जाओ एज एन इंटरव्यूअर, और तुम मेरे जगह बैठ जाओ एज अ फर्स्ट ईयर एज एन इंटरव्यूअर, और मैं तुम्हारे सामने आता हूँ विद 777 इन ग्रेजुएशन एंड 10th and 12th. मैंने कुछ पढ़ाई नहीं की, मैं मस्ती किया पूरा, लेकिन लास्ट 2 साल मेरा खाली है, उसमें मैंने ये काम किया. और मैं 15 मिनट में इन माई डिस्कशन विद यू आई इम्प्रेस यू एंड आई प्रूव टू यू थ्रू माई डिस्कशन विद यू द depth of knowledge I have on the course, on marketing, on the area I've studied. तो तुम बताओ, अगर मैंने ये प्रूव कर दिया कि my knowledge, suppose you are an IIM Ahmedabad interviewer, and I prove to you that my discussion with you was qualitatively equal to your discussion as a faculty at IIM Ahmedabad. You have been having discussions with your students of first year. तो वो जो questions पूछते हैं और वो जिस तरह से आंसर करते हैं, तुम्हारा आंसर वही लेवल का है. So as an interviewer, I would not just be forced to select you. I would select you very gladly, because not selecting you is then an admission that I've selected a whole batch which was wrong. So that's what you're trying to prove, right? So जो बोलता है ना कि अगर दरवाज़ा नॉक करने धीरे से नॉक करो, नहीं खुल रहा है दरवाज़ा, right? You knock politely, तुम्हारा दरवाज़ा नहीं खोल रहा है कोई, तो तोड़ दो दरवाज़ा, break it down. This is the breakdown logic. ठीक है, उनको दिखाओ, ठीक है, तुम आपको एकेडमिक्स चाहिए ना, ठीक है, मेरे पास फिजिकल एकेडमिक्स नहीं है, तो आपको जो नंबर देना है मेरे को दे दीजिए आप मेरे को फॉर वेटेजेस 10th 12th और ग्रेजुएशन में. ठीक है, मेरे को सिलेक्शन ही नहीं हुआ तो अलग बात है. यू नॉट कॉलिंग मी बिकॉज आई डोंट हैव 80%. जैसे IIM Ahmedabad रिक्वायर्स 80% इन 10th and 12th, एग्रीगेट 80% कंबाइनिंग 10th and 12th. ठीक है, तो IIM Ahmedabad अगर ये करता है, अगर ये बताता है तुमको कि तुमको 80% नहीं है तो मैं नहीं बुला रहा हूँ, तो ठीक है, एक्सेप्टेड. लेकिन उसके बाद फिर जो इंस्टीट्यूट तुमको बुला रहा है वहाँ तुम बोलो ठीक है, तुम मेरे को 777 है, जो एकेडमिक्स में मेरे को नाम नंबर दे दो, लेकिन तुमको प्रूफ चाहिए ना कि मैं पढ़ सकता हूँ। तो देखो ना, मैं पढ़ के आया हूँ, मैं ये सब चीज़ें 10-15 सब्जेक्ट पढ़ के आया हूँ। इसमें पूछो मेरे से, लेट्स हैव अ डिस्कशन। और उस डिस्कशन में तुम प्रूव कर दो उनको कि तुम्हारे जो फर्स्ट ईयर का बेवकूफ़ बच्चा पढ़ रहा है वो उसके इक्वल तो हूँ ही मैं। तो थोड़ी वो रिजेक्ट करेगा, हाउ कैन ही रिजेक्ट यू? कोई इंटरव्यू नहीं रिजेक्ट करेगा। एज अ सेड, ही इज नॉट जस्ट फोर्स टू सेलेक्ट यू, ही विल बी ग्लैडली, ही विल जंप एट यू, because he said this is the guy I need, right? So please remember that. So all of you there out there who are 777 or 757 kind of profiles, start building it up. Your profile is two parts. Remember that your profile is what has happened, and your profile is what is happening. And at any time when you look at the profile, yeah, Udemy, Coursera, you also look at edX, you also look at Stanford Online, look at Harvard Online. Go to those universities, go to the online free online courses tab. ठीक है, वहाँ जाके उस पर अप्लाई करो. You take the courses. They are giving a lot of courses out for free. ठीक है, so do that. पैशन फुटबॉल है तो फुटबॉल के बारे में पूरा जान लो. EPL का क्या था, चैम्पियंस लीग का क्या था, अभी जो इंग्लिश यूरोपियन सुपर लीग फॉर्म हुआ था उसका पूरा फियास्को के बारे में पढ़ो. रीड 20 डिफरेंट आर्टिकल्स. इकोनॉमिक्स केम अप विद एन आर्टिकल, Whitefield. Read that. Follow things and get a better grip on the world. That's as simple as that. चलो, तो आई थिंक आई एम आउट ऑफ टाइम. तो I'll do something on DILR very quickly, very soon, and in some other session. I hope you had a good interaction. So I'll wind up today. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone. See you.